Within this video, I'll be talking about the measles virus, which is a common infectious disease of the skin. Measles, also known as rubeola, is an extremely contagious infectious disease. It is shown to be a leading cause of death in groups of young children in places with low vaccination rates. Measles are caused by the Measles virus, which is the formal species name. It is considered extremely contagious because it is airborne. It spreads through tiny particles that travel in the air when someone coughs or sneezes. When someone breathes in that air or touches surfaces where the particles have landed, they can become infected. It is also considered so contagious because 90% of non-immune people can get infected from one person who has the virus. As the measles virus enters the body and travels towards the mucosa, it will start to infect the epithelial cells in the bronchi. A protein on the virus's surface, called hemagglutinin, binds to a target receptor in the host cell. Within the primary source I found, this was identified as signaling lymphocyte activation molecule, or SLAM. Once the virus is bound to the cell surface, the fusion protein helps the virus fuse with the cell membrane. It then enters the cell. The virus is considered a single-stranded RNA virus that is negative sense. This means that it has to be transcribed to RNA polymerase to transcribe it into a positive sense mRNA strand. It is then transcribed to viral proteins where it can travel towards the cell envelope so it can exit the cell as a new virus. The measles virus will then spread through local tissue where it can be engulfed by dendritic cells and alveolar macrophages. From there, it is carried from tissues in the lungs to lymph nodes. It will then continue to spread into the blood where it can then infect other organs like the brain or intestines. As the virus spreads throughout the body, symptoms begin to start. The symptoms begin with a high fever followed by a cough, conjunctivitis or inflammation and redness of the white part of the eye, and carosa, which is essentially a stuffy nose. As symptoms further progress, ananthem occurs, which is a rash on the mucous membrane. They commonly present as small white bumps on the inside of the cheeks. After this is the exanthem phase. This is when a red blotchy rash forms in a cephalocaudal progression. This means that the rash starts at the head and spreads towards the end of the body. This was a short overview of what I learned about measles in my primary and secondary sources.